Charlotte's Web. Well, it's backwards on my screen. Is it backwards on you guys' screen?
Nope.
No.
Nope.
Okay. So it's backwards on mine. This is what goes in your bobbin. So it'll look like this when you put it in your bobbin. Maybe I can get it to clear up a little bit. Can you see that hanging there? Oh my God. So it's a little bit thicker. Okay. And then in your top thread, you will put in what's called a monopoly. There's a smoke color that you can get and a clear. I'm going to use the smoke tonight just so it's easier for people to see when I iron with it, which I forgot to plug in my iron. I don't like drama. Did Sue get on? She says think so.
Not yet. I'll let you know.
Okay. I'm going to plug in my iron here. Hang on. It's been a drama day around here, so I'm a little frazzled, so I apologize. Debbie saw my mother today. What did you think of the walking skeleton?
That is very reminiscent of my mother, I hate to say.
Yeah. Okay, so when you're doing applique, you normally have to get your pattern, do a reverse of the pattern, trace it onto like steam a seam, then you iron that onto your fabric, and you leave one side sealed and one side's on your fabric, then you pull off the other seal, and then you can turn it over, and then you have to put it on your fabric and position it. And when you position it, if you're putting it right on your fabric, you cannot move it again. It's done, it's sealed, it's on that fabric. And then when you go to do your applique stitch around the outside edges, you get glue on your needle, you get all kinds of gunk, and then you just get mad. And then you have a real thickness from where the steam seam is on there. With this Charlotte's Web, fusible web, you don't have that thickness, and you can pull it off and reposition it if you need to. Oh, Sue's trying to call me a messenger, so she's struggling. Bear with me 1 second.
All right.
Okay, Sue.
It's asking me for a password.
Angela.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Okay, so she should be here shortly. But anyway, so with the Charlotte's Web, you can reposition it. When I was on doing the class last night, I showed my turtle. I don't know where I put my turtle. Anyway, where I had pulled up one of his fins. And today, when somebody was here, I showed her how you iron it back down, and it sealed it right back up, and you can't pull it off. So, oh, she says my turtle is cool. Thank you, Eva. Someday I'll finish it. So by putting this in the bobbin, look at me top of my hands, then the glue ends up on the bottom. So like, for example, this is what I'm doing tonight. Okay, I normally print this onto freezer paper, iron the freezer paper to the front side of my fabric, and then I stitch right on that freezer paper. But I just did it on regular paper tonight and pinned it on there. So I'm doing a sewing machine, and my sewing machine is going to be this beautiful blue fabric that I love so much. So and what we're gonna do is I'm gonna try and stitch right around the outside edge of this one, but I could, you know what? That kind of doesn't make sense, does it? I can still pull this off. I'm gonna stitch right on the paper, because the paper's gonna come off the minute you iron it onto your other stuff, okay? So I'm gonna pull my bobbin thread back up. Does anybody got any questions so far?
No.
So you just haven't ironed down the sewing machine shape yet, because you can either iron it or not iron it. It's easy either way. It's no big deal.
Right. I mean, I didn't use freezer paper. When you use the freezer paper and
Oh,
iron it, it attaches it to the fabric. I just used pins tonight, just
Perfect.
because I'm busy making a t-shirt quilt that's taking up a lot of my time.
Gotcha. So it's just pattern
So,
paper. It's nothing. It's not freezer paper.
right.
Perfect.
And the freezer paper, I mean, you can trace it onto your freezer paper using a window or a light box, whatever you have. I'm going to try and turn this here. This worked the other night for our Zoom class. So I'm going to turn it this way first so you can see. Okay, there is my monopoly. Okay, and I have it threaded through here, and it's so thin that it's hard to see it. But so now I'm going to turn my sewing machine back the other way. And in my bobbin, I have the Charlotte's Web. And you wind it on your bobbins just like normal thread. It doesn't take anything extra to do. I'm turning this back on. There we go. All right. So did Sue ever get connected?
She did?
Yes. Yay, Sue!
Yeah. Yeah, yay.
We're glad to see you, Sue. All right, and I have a I have a thread cutter on my machine, so I just cut off the excess so it's out of my way. So, and I have this foot on so that I have a wide space to watch the actual paper that I'm sewing on. Okay, put this back on there. All right, so I just put this in here. I'm getting rid of this one. I can't see the monopoly. I'm double checking. And I'm just going to stitch. Can you see this? Maybe I can bring this a little closer. How's that? Is that better?
Yes.
I am literally just stitching the outside edge of this pattern. And it's not, it doesn't have to be perfect. You just want the glue. Oops, see, just like that, I went off. Uh-oh. So I'm gonna go back here and go back onto it. And if you have one of those see-through bobbins, you'll be able to see your bobbin turning on the bottom where it's actually coming off like it's a bobbin thread. Come on, no, stop behaving badly. There we go. Just sew it along.
What kind of stitch are you using, Angela?
Pardon me?
What kind of stitch are you using?
I'm just using a straight stitch at this point, and it's kind of a practice for when you actually do your applique stitch, because you're going to get kind of used to the pattern. And when you're appliquing, it's hard to, oh, something's screwed up here. And it's pulling my glue to the top, which is very bad. So hang on a second, because the glue will be stuck on my iron if it does that. I don't know why it did that. It must have been something when it went off the thing. Of course I can't find mine. You guys know me well enough to know I can't find anything when I need it. I don't want this glue on the top, because the glue, like I said, this thread coming through on the top, you literally will end up with it on your iron, and you don't want that. And I don't know why it did that. Let's see if I can get it to go. Ah, there we go. Now it went back. There we go. Things are better. Okay. All right, so back to this. What is going? Oh, I have it caught. This is the bad part about this monopoly thread, is it's so hard to see. You're like, is it in the needle? And mine is not, but it will be in 2 seconds. Sue will have it made. Sue's got these really cool magnifier that's on her sewing machine. She just bought one from John.
Oh,
And it magnifies everything so you see your needle and all that stuff better. I went with her and made sure she got the good stuff.
my friend's on her way down there tonight, actually. She's bringing a sewing machine.
Really? Oh,
Yeah.
that's awesome. John is great.
Well, she's got a backpack, and he said he would come out to the car and everything, so.
He's been so awesome to deal with. It's just amazing. My goal is to be him. No, to be like him. So now I'm just on the inside of this little sewing machine part. Oops, I went off of it again. Shame on me. Why? Because I'm driving too fast. What do I always say, Sue? She's not going to listen to me now.
Slow down. Speeding, slow down. Gonna give you a speeding ticket.
Yeah, I threatened to do that with you.
Uh-huh.
I don't know why this is stupid. Oh, stop. Here's how my sewing machine is going to act like an idiot. Yeah, it did. The bobbin jumped out of its little foam. Here's my pen. Ah, why is it when I want something to go right?
Right.
Okay.
Tell it that you love it.
Oh, yeah, I'll tell it that and a few other things shortly. Everybody knows me.
Not nice.
I gotta grab a seam ripper. Bear with me 1 second, please. Where's my seam ripper at this time? And the only reason I have to do this is because it was pulling that glue thread to the top again, and it was doing that because the bobbin was unthreaded. So all I'm gonna do is pull it back to the back. So I'll just have a little extra glue thread going all the way around here, which never hurt anything. See, there's easy ways to fix things, if that makes sense. All right, I think we're pretty good now. Did I get all the way around? Yes, I did. Okay, so I got all the way, oh no, I don't. This is where I stopped. I just gotta fix this little edge here. I feel like I should say, talks among yourselves. Okay, so on the back, can you guys see all that white in the shape of the sewing machine?
Yeah.
That's the glue.
Yep.
That's the glue. So it will be an easy, so I'm gonna make the little spool and the back handle of the machine in the same fabric, but I wanted to pick where it was gonna be. So I'm just gonna do this back piece real quick here. This is the boring part. You guys like watching me sew?
You know it.
Yep.
It's so exciting. Oh, I'm sorry, machine yelling at me. Okay. So now this, there we go. So then there's the back handle. Okay. And then actually,
Okay.
what do I have over here? Someone asking a question?
No.
Oh, okay. I'm going to stitch my little bobbin in a green fabric. Okay, when you do this, the next step you're going to do is to cut these little pieces out, and you're going to stay outside of the paper. So if you've got really sharp paper scissors, please don't use your fabric scissors. Well, you can use your fabric scissors, I guess, now that I'm thinking about it, as long as you don't cut the paper with them. Does that make sense?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Yep. Debbie's eating, and I want to know what it is.
Oh, I just finished venison steaks with baked potatoes with ramp butter.
Oh,
yummy.
right.
Oh, it was yummy.
Okay, so there's the little spool. Can you see it, or is it too? Maybe if I
Stay
come back.
still long enough, it'll focus.
How's that? Can you see it?
Looks good. I can see it.
Okay. So then you're going to take these little things. Oh, I need one more piece. Hang on. Sorry. I got to do this little handle for, Melissa, you don't happen to have a picture that you could put up, do you,
Please
of what
hold.
this looks like?
Let me look real quick.
I was just thinking about that. I should have printed another copy. Now the Phoebe that we're going to do the class in, it comes as a big pattern where you trace the pattern off of it for each piece, which is a lot of fun. And then like my turtle, so when you put it together, the pieces will go, we'll label them with letters. This piece A, piece B, so you know exactly where it's supposed to go. On when we put it on the background paper fabric. Almost done. Whoa, that was a big turn. Anybody know an eye doctor who's taking appointments right now?
Doo-doo. Hang in there, I'm coming.
I didn't touch that. What did I do? Right. So that's the nice thing about this white. See how I missed this curve?
Oh, yeah.
So by seeing the white, I know I have to go back and sew that little section so that it stays attached.
Oh, yeah.
All right, I can show you that picture now if you're ready for me to show it.
Yeah, go for it. This is, so you can see how it's
cute.
Yeah. So now I'm going to grab my scissors real quick because once again, of course, I'm not ready for anything. And I don't know where my tool scissors are. They could be anywhere. And you're literally are going to go in and you're just going to cut right outside. You can kind of see what I'm doing here. Right outside of the paper. Just so you're not having to deal with all of this extra. So, I mean, it's a little more tedious that way, but for the amount of time it's going to save you on your needles and all that good stuff, it's well worth doing it.
Here we go, little stuff again.
Oh, it doesn't have to be little stuff. In fact, the Phoebe pattern is not little at all.
No,
It's
not at
huge
all.
leaves and petals.
Maybe
Need
I
to
can
find
put-
out what I did with it. Because somebody from tonight's little demo that's here is gonna get it free instead of having to pay for it. You just have to pay for the class. So that kind of shows you, there's the little outside handle. And let me cut out this other
Yep.
little piece. Let me cut this little piece out. This is like paper dolls when you were a kid. Everybody here must have done those, right?
Right?
Never played with them.
Here's a picture of the pattern.
Oh, that's the
Okay.
class we're gonna do.
And it's 42 by 50.
Oh, goody.
Oh, that's good size.
Right?
Yeah, you add a border to it, and you got a great lap quilt.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
I'm just
beautiful.
gonna real quick trim around my sewing machine here.
Yeah,
And you want to make sure that you did this with the right side of the fabric up. Because again, we're going to glue this onto the background.
Oh, and this is like really
Quit
important.
picking on me.
Who's picking on you?
You
Why?
with the right side of the fabric.
I think everybody here has done that, Sue. Every one of us.
Just kidding.
I know. I almost have this done. Oh, that was my finger. I guess these scissors are pretty sharp.
No
All right.
blood.
And
No,
Eva's used this stuff before too, I think. Didn't
pardon me?
Didn't Eva do that poppy wall hanging with the?
Yes, she did. You remember doing this, Eva? She's got us muted.
Oh. Oh yes, she said.
Okay, yeah, I remember doing it.
What did you think of it?
It was okay. I got to get better at it though.
Well, it takes practice to get better. And you only did it once. Right? I'm going to turn this the other
Yes.
way here. Whoa, did anybody get dizzy? I'm gonna turn my ear out. Okay, hopefully it's going to focus a little bit here. I'm just trying to get it a little bit unwrinkled, if that makes sense.
Right.
Okay, so this is not anything too elaborate. All right, so I have it nice and pressed.
Can you tilt it down a little bit more? So
Huh?
can you tilt
Camera?
it a little bit? Thank you.
How's that?
Ooh, that's
Better?
Ooh, great.
Now I'm just praying I got all the glue thread to the back. The only thing with Charlotte's Web that I think everybody should have is a pair of tweezers. Can you see the tweezers? And they don't have to be like this, but any tweezers. Because when you take this hot iron and put it on here, it is going to let the top thread loose. I'm really worried that I'm going to have way too much glue thread coming up. But we're going to find out. I'll just clean my iron. So now you're just going to go on here and you are going to press like that. Now, if you can see, this top thread's already coming off. You see it? So it pulled up off the fabric. So now I'm just going to go back over where I pulled out the top thread. Come on, stop it. And repress that. Because now with my tweezers, I can go back and lift this paper right off. And my thing is attached. So let me finish.
And burn your
Going around.
fingers.
Hey, now, Sue, who's picking on who now? You just got busted, girl.
Share the wealth. What's new?
I know.
Sounds like a payback.
Life is too short.
I know.
As I pressed this, here's more. Come here. Come on. This is why I like the tweezers. Here's more of that top thread coming off. And if the glue dries with it in it, it's a little bit harder to get off, but it's no big deal. I can still grab it. There we
So you're just going after it now because it's just easier to pull it up.
Right, it's a lot easier to pull it when the glue is warm than it is when the glue gets colder. You can still do it when the glue gets colder, but this just peels. Yeah, here, all of this is coming off now. And see, it keeps pulling up my thing. That's not a big deal. I'll just put my iron back down and reattach like a so. I feel like I should be on the Star Wars. Make it so.
She's showing us how to do Charlotte's Web. It's a thread.
Woo, honey. All right, so here's another piece that needs to come off.
Won't do that.
Anybody have any questions so far?
Where did you get your iron?
John wants to know where the spider is.
Where the what is?
The
Your
spider
iron.
is for Charlotte's Web.
Oh, he's funny.
Ah,
It's another
he's being a
guy.
smart one.
See, now all this paper is coming
Uh-huh.
off the top here. And because it's me, I'm throwing it on the floor. Because that's what I do best.
Where did you get your little iron?
I can order it for you. They're
Okay.
$20. Sue's got one.
Yes, I do, and I love it.
All right, come on.
And I can just say from experience of watching Angela do this, it's just being sassy because she's on video right now. Like usually it's like
Yeah.
zip, zam, zoom.
Yeah, I mean this, now you just seen it all come really fast now. There's a little piece stuck there. Oh, I must have had two. This is where I went back and re-sewed it. That's why it was stuck there. But anyway, let me just reheat and reseal. Oops, there's another piece of stink.
Oh, so you can go over it a second time or third, even
Yep.
to pull that black thread off?
Yep,
If you were a little
If
bit
you
too
see
slow getting it?
yep. All you gotta do is reheat the glue. That's why it's repositionable. Because
Oh,
once the
cool.
glue dries, you just heat it up,
Okay.
then away you go. I mean, can
Okay.
you do that with steam seam?
No. That stuff is terrible. I've ruined 2 irons.
Yeah, well, and I've just, and I was talking that my bobbin wasn't right, so there was some glue on the top, and this little iron has just a little bit of glue on it, nothing major. So I'll just take a little cleaner to it, but the main part of the sewing machine is now attached. You see them?
Oh, cool.
It's attached. I can't, if I play at it hard enough, I can pull it off. But it's attached. And it's not any thicker than 2 pieces of fabric.
Oh, nice.
And I'm already squishing it and bending it and doing all that good stuff. So I have this little knob piece that needs to go here. And I did it separately so that we can see how you can do multiple pieces. Is that better? Can you see this guy?
Yep.
Okay. So now I got thread on there. Stop it. Now this one is so tiny, I just set it up against the sewing machine back, and I'm just going to do this. Just let it get nice and warm and melt that bobbin thread. And now I can go in here and look at this, just peel right up. I just peeled off the whole top thread. And now there goes the paper. And now the little knob is on there. So now the handle for the knob, I'm going to put it on. Oops, I got to take that out of there. There we go. I'm going to put that on there, and I'm going to do the same thing. I overlapped it a little bit. Now I'm just going to take this little iron and do this again. And if I pull it away like that, I wish you could see this thread. It just comes right off. There it is. It separates from the blue. Sometimes you get a pin if it's down there. And then there's a piece down here. Come on. Play nice. There we go. And it just looks like a bunch of gray hair laying around out here. And then this just peels right off. Like so. And now the handle is on the back of the sewing machine.
Oh, that's amazing. It's like magic
Now,
every
how
time I
long
watch it.
Yeah, and how long did it take me to do it, ladies? So you can see how this will speed up your applique. This will be my little thread bobbin up here. And then like on the picture she put up, there was a thread strand that went from the bobbin down and through the needle. And I had the needle part here too, somewhere. I cut it out. I don't know what I did with it. Oh, here, there's the little needle part that goes down below. So I would just put that in black or silver. I'm gonna try and take the camera off here and see if that'll help. It looks like it's way far away. There. So I would just do this in a silver. Okay. But there's the handle on it. And it's all attached. I'm not gonna throw that on the floor. Oops. But can you guys see it's all just a real simple design.
And then once you stitch around it, do your applique or whatever.
Right. Well, then once you put it on your machine and you do, oh, you guys really got a good shot of my boobs now. But that excites you. All right. So once you get to this point, you know, you can, wow, that's a nice ceiling. There. Once you get to this point where you've got everything on there, then you just go in and do your applique stitch around the very outside edges of it. And she's on there. And when you do that, I'm going to go back to my sewing machine. I'm going to put an applique stitch on. First thing I'm going to tell you, change your bobbin. Very, very important. Let's try to get this down here. If you don't, nothing will stay. So I'm just changing over to my bottom line. I'm going to actually leave the monopoly on the top because I want to do this, ouch, or maybe I should change it so that we see the stitching. Because sometimes I'll use the monopoly as the applique stitch so you don't see it at all. But I'm going to change this to black so you guys can see it. Oh, maybe. I'm going to use some thread that I don't usually use on my machine. Let's see if it fights with me. We got some connecting thread here. And it's a lot thicker than my Orafill. And sometimes my machine is not a nice machine. Okay, and then I need to go to mode 239. Yes, okay. So now I just switched my machine to an applique stitch. And do you guys know what an applique stitch is? I'm gonna bring
Like
the
that.
camera. I'm gonna bring the camera here. Can you see this stitch? So
Oh,
what
like
it
a
does is
blanket stitch. It's kind of like a blanket stitch.
exactly a blanket stitch. All right, this is going back. Whoa. Maybe I'll go back in here. Okay. And then I am just going to go here and just gotta go a little faster than that. Now, I'm just stitching away, and if you've ever done any applique with your machine, you know that glue gets on your needle, and then it jams everything up, and it breaks the thread. I'm gonna turn this.
But that doesn't happen with the Charlotte's Web, though, right?
No, not at all. That's what I'm gonna take the needle out and show you. First, my machine is acting stupid. So there's a couple of blanket stitch things here that are not quite right, but I want to do a little bit of stitching so you guys can see. All right, that's just for right now. That's, you can just see there's the stitch. Okay, so I went all the way around it and through the glue from the Charlotte's Web, and there is no glue, nothing on my needle. It is just as slick as could be. Woo! It really went out of focus. Let's try it this way. How's that? Can you see it, or is it not focusing?
Put your hand behind it so
There. There is nothing. There we go. There is no glue. The needle is just as shiny as it ever has been. And this was brand new today.
oh nice.
So
It
no,
doesn't come
you're
up.
not gonna pick up anything from this Charlotte's Web onto your needle. There's the stitching.
Oh, now I
And
can
I
see
did,
it a little better.
you can see it better?
Yeah, just stop moving around.
How's that? Debbie, you're talking, but you're on mute.
Oh, wait, hold on.
It looks good. I can see it.
Yeah, I mean, and you saw the needle stayed clean. Let me get this extra thread out of here. My machine decided to be dumb on. And I try to get right, oops. Hi guys, it's me again. See if I can get it to, okay. I try to get right on the very edge of the raw applique. Come on now, focus on, I'll get rid of my face, maybe it'll focus. I try to be right on that edge. That way, if there is any loose edges from the raw applique, it's not gonna come up. And that's the other
Wow.
thing that's nice about the Charlotte's Web is because that glue is right there and not everywhere. That'll keep those raw edges from spraying up also.
Oh, cool.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a nice setup. There's where my machine acted dumb. But yeah. And how many, what have we been on here? Like 20, 30 minutes that I've been sewing and doing this? It doesn't take long, and it turns out so cool in the long run. And it's less frustration. I mean, other than my machine acting up, I have a really cool little pattern like so.
Awesome. That'd be such a cute pillow.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, actually, it would.
Yep.
It really would. That's something I may have to do that. I may have to redo it because I've screwed it up a little bit. But so anybody have any questions?
No, I can hardly wait to try it out.
Cool. Nancy, are you still with me? Yeah. Jenny, I see you. Jenny, you think you're willing to try it?
I think so. Is it number 9 on your sewing machine?
Mine, it's 39, but I have like 100,000 stitches on mine.
Oh, okay.
You know what, though? If you take a picture of it and send it to Angela, she can let you know if that's the right stitch.
Okay.
True.
Because
Yeah,
I don't
that's
know
not
what
a
an
problem.
applique looks like.
Right?
What about
Or
Sue?
some people just zigzag too. You can even.
That's true. You can do a satin stitch, or you could do a zigzag stitch. You don't have to do the blanket stitch. I just like how the blanket stitch looks. So that's why I do it that way.
Okay.
And I've done several of these already. This is what's on my bobbin. And then this is what's still left on my spool. I've gone through one spool of this so far.
Really?
And I haven't even got close to going through one of these. And this is just ends up being thrown away. I actually borrowed my clear one to a customer to do a fix-it. She had a hole in one of her quilts where her seam didn't come together. So I sent the clear monopoly to her so she could sew with this on the top of her quilt and no one would know it was there.
Huh.
And that
Oh,
sealed up the
nice.
hole that I found.
Nice.
Okay. So you guys all ready for this class?
Yes. I am.
Jenny, Nancy,
I'm excited.
Me
Good.
too.
Susie. Unmute yourself, Sue.
Mhm.
There she goes.
There you go. How about you, Nancy? Did you run away, Nancy? Oh, there you are. What do you think?
Oh, I'm here. I'm not sure if I'll take the class or not.
Okay. What do you think of the Charlotte's Web? I know you took the hand applique class with who I call Crazy Kathy, Kathy Nanini.
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, I have the Charlotte's Web. I bought it from you.
That's right at the
both-
last. Yeah, wasn't it the last quilt show?
Yeah, but I haven't used it yet.
Okay. So, I mean, if do you have questions on how to use it? Do you have any, are you surprised how easy it is?
No, I like it because it's not stiff. When I
Right.
did application before, then it was real thick and stiff.
Right.
Yeah.
So
I
with
think
this-
even if anybody was to just buy the Charlotte's Web and have it at home, because sometimes you can't find that fusible web, but this seems so much better. So just in case you need a fusible web, why not just use this instead? It's so much easier.
Well, yeah, and like I cut off that extra piece when I was first threading it. I've taken those pieces and I put them in like a seam on a pocket that's coming apart. I put it underneath the pocket thing and then I just pressed it down and just sealed that pocket back up.
Oh, yeah.
So then it's a quick fix. I mean, it's not permanent, but if you're gonna run somewhere and the pocket is sore, that's a quick fix too.
Yeah.
So, Melissa, I wanna do the drawing for that free pattern. Hey, Sue, you were helping me cleaning. Where did I put them?
I don't know.
Oh, you girls.
I'm guessing it's under a pile of fabric.
Uh-huh.
It was. So there's, what, 5 or 6 of us here?
Yep. 1, 2,
Okay.
3.
Yep.
I just wanna put everybody, there's 6. I'll just put 6 numbers in the thing and pull one out.
Alright.
Hang on.
Yeah, I'm entering it into a, whatchamacallit.
You have a randomizer?
Yeah.
Oh, I love you even more.
Right? I'm good for something.
You're good for everything. I can never say enough about this woman who's helping me. If you guys ever need someone to do something, that would be her.
You've really helped out during this awful time. You've really helped her out and helped us out too.
All right, Ava.
Yeah,
Sue,
Lisa.
1,000 times.
So just to make sure, Eva, Sue, Nancy, Debbie, Jenny. That's everyone, yeah.
Yep. Well, and you,
What? No.
I'm going to put the focus on her face.
All right, so here we go. I'm gonna put it on me because I'm such a sexy thing. All right. I'm gonna pick the random name. Boop.
Does that say Nancy?
I'm looking. I'm like, oh, here we go. Wait. Dirty bugger. Ta-da!
Eva!
Thank you.
Ooh, nice.
Yes, really.
Way to go, Eva.
Cool.
Congratulations, Eva.
Well, now Eva's going to have to come out here. But you see how big these pieces are?
Yeah.
This is going to
Yeah.
be so nice to do.
Melissa, where did you have that up where you could get them?
Well, I will order them if you want one.
Oh,
I'll get it.
yes.
I just want to show you, this is
Okay, how big is
how
it?
they come. Trying to,
Oh.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
They're not messing around.
no. So
Wow.
what we do is we're going to go in and do, 1, 2, 3 little numbers on them. So we know where each item is going to go back on the pattern. Does that make sense?
Wow.
Yep.
That's
Cool.
very cool.
They put a little thing in here. It says washable applique paper has been discontinued. We recommend using freezer paper to trace it. So back to that freezer paper thing that I do.
Well, you can buy such a monster-sized roll of it.
Pardon me?
You can get such a big roll of it.
Yeah.
Well, exactly. I've got, okay. Husband has like 400 yards of it, but he doesn't know where it is. So when we do this class, if you want to sign up for it, I'll make sure there's a big enough piece of freezer paper in there for you if you don't have it. Because you can redo this, let's say we do it in, you do it in these random pinks and purples, and then you decide one day you want to do a yellow one with a brown center for seeds. You still
Right.
have the original pattern because you use the freezer paper.
Come on.
So you can make it over and over again. So Eva, I think you need to make this for yourself.
Yes, I do too.
Ooh, pretty.
Yeah. So we can do, I can try and figure out how much, because it says you need 1.5 yards of a background fabric, and then, ouch, a fat eighth of 10 red fabrics. So a fat eighth, is a 11.5 by 18. I think that's what it is. And then a 10 by 10 piece of 3 different yellows for the flower. And then 13 different fat eighths or scraps of greens. Optional letter fabric if you want to put the word Phoebe on it. I won't be doing that on mine. That's what that says right here. It says Phoebe. Let's see. Fine point Sharpie pen. And a 1/3 yard of fabric for binding, 1 2/3 yards for the backing, and thread for machine quilting and appliquing.
Wow.
It's a pretty simple pattern. She has some very complicated patterns, But Laura Hine does such a great job with her big applique stuff like this. It's awesome.
That is gorgeous.
Yeah. So if you want one and you want to be in the class, we already have an event set up for that, don't we, Melissa?
Well, if we did, what day would it be?
Probably
I
a
don't think
couple
I did
weeks.
it. When?
I think a couple weeks. Uh-oh, what did I do?
Is it going to be out at the studio?
It'll be on Thursday?
Yeah, I think it'll be a Thursday night again.
Alrighty.
What did you ask, Jenny?
Is that right at the studio?
Okay, I'm
Right at your studio?
She wants to know if it'll be at the
well,
studio
I think we'll do it on Zoom again, unless they
Oh,
open everything
okay.
up. If they open stuff up, I got no problem with you coming here while we're on Zoom.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, we all did. Well, and with 3 more positive cases today, I don't know what the governor's going to do.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't. I'm sorry about that. I was like, face. Senior
Yeah.
moment.
It just, yeah, it's right now, as everybody knows, I'm just letting one person in at a time. And after you leave, I wipe the door handles down and the cutting tables and whatever else is around, so that we stay safe. And I can wear a mask if you want me to. Mine is right here. And you can wear one if you feel like you need to. Debbie showed up today to pick up some fabric from Sunday, and she got to see my mother and father who were here, but they had just come from the clinic and had their temperatures taken, so they weren't sick.
Oh, I was like, I didn't know that they weren't feeling well. Never mind. I'm sorry. We'll calm down.
No, my mom has been getting fusions for osteoporosis for years.
Oh.
Oh.
So she went in to get the, bone test, thickness test today. And
Bone
she has
density?
to have one more fusion and she doesn't have to have it anymore. So that just means that I will have it one day.
All right. Well, I apologize 100%. I forgot to make an event for that.
Okay.
So do you want to do it the 21st then?
Sure. Is everybody okay with the 21st?
Yeah.
Is that a Thursday?
All
Yeah,
right.
it'll be a Thursday.
Okay.
And, when did you want to do the split decision too? I forgot about that.
You want to do that 2 weeks later, like the first week in June? Oh my God, I can't believe it's June already.
So that would be the 4th of June.
What do you think? Split decision the 4th of June?
Already
Here, I
did
found that.
mine.
No, you did the second to me.
Oh,
All right, I just seen that pattern on the floor. I don't know where it went to.
Yeah. For being closed, Angela's been chaotically busy. So
Yes, yes.
I've been what?
I said, for being closed, you've been chaotically busy.
Yeah, trying to keep up with everything because all that fabric coming in. Oh, some comes tomorrow. So I should probably do a live.
so what's a split decision quilt?
That's the one that Sue, that was purple with the yellow stripe in it.
Oh, okay.
Actually, I might be able to show you my sample. Hang on.
Where'd she go?
I'm back. This was
Oh, okay, that one.
Oh, yeah.
Uh-huh.
really pretty.
Pretty.
Really.
What am I going to do with all these quilts?
You give them his Christmas present.
Christmas, graduation, yep. Lap
Somebody's
quilt.
having a bad day.
Yep.
You never know. So I guess we'll let everybody go play. And Melissa's being my hero and putting the events on there. I feel like I abuse her all the time, but I try not to. She's bossy with me too, so.
I am.
But it's all good. So if you guys have any questions or you need the Charlotte's Web or you want me to put a kit together for you for this Phoebe, that you let me know. And Miss Eva, you might have to come visit me.
Oh, I will.
So 2 weeks from today is the class.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'll take a pattern.
Okay. Debbie, I just like you to drive from Hagen to here at least once a week.
I know. Oh, I know.
will be-
It's a nice drive. It's a break in the quilting. So
There you
it's
go.
good.
Debbie does long arm quilting also. That's why it's good for her because she's doing a custom one right now that she wishes she wasn't doing.
Yeah, exactly.
So I will order some more of this one. This is Miss Eva's. Woohoo! See what happens when you show up?
Yeah.
And then I have Mia Charlotte's Web here. So anyone who hasn't got it will take care of that because the company has actually got them on back order again. That's how popular it's become.
Wow.
So on that note, I will see you guys all later. Make sure you finish your cooped up blocks.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Did you get your
Look
last
it up
one?
mine.
Thanks,
Only
Angela.
5
All right,
behind.
bye,
Yeah,
Nancy.
thank you.
You
Thank
bet.
you.
Bye, Debbie.
Bye.
See you later.
Bye, Sue. Bye, Jenny.
Bye.